How's it going, everybody? It's the Shirtless Chef coming at you with another episode of How to Cook. Today we are attempting yakisoba. So let's get started. Today I wanted to attempt, we've been doing a lot of street food recently, and this is going to be kind of one of the last bits of our street food series. And so our last episode, or one of our last episodes, is going to be a stir-fry dish. It would be a typical street dish. We are making yakisoba. We have half an onion, chopped up, one green onion, chopped up. I did a lot of the chopping off screen just because I didn't want to bore you all with all the extra details. One carrot, chopped up. Julienne cut. So you're going to have kind of sticks. I've got a pound plus of pork belly. I'm going to finish slicing that up. Kind of move you all over this direction so you can see this part. So I got this. This is pork belly. This is basically bacon before it's cured. I really don't want that pan on. But this is the last thing we got left to cut up. I wasn't going to bore you with all the cutting and everything because it's going to take so long. It takes so long to cut everything up. Okay, and apparently soy sauce burns. But this is a pound plus, and we're just going to cut maybe 3 slices of it. And we're going to take the rest and use it later. So pork belly is bacon uncured. But that's all we're going to need of our pork belly. We're just going to cut it into smaller pieces. We're more or less just going to cut it into chunks. You know what? That's okay. That's the beauty of yakisoba and a lot of street dishes is it can be messy. It doesn't have to look perfect. You know what? You're wandering around with something that you can carry around. That's its main goal, is it portable? For example, where we made takoyaki the other week, I guess that was 2 weeks ago, it's on a skewer, traditionally served. So you just take your skewer and walk around. There we go. That is our pork belly. It is kind of haphazardly cut, but I will see you all in a second with another angle of this. And we are back to this angle, so you can see the pan. Here is our onion, carrot, hilariously, our ketchup. And I'll explain why we need ketchup later. Green onions, our pork belly that you just saw us cut. You just saw us cut. We've got angel hair coleslaw, which we're going to throw in later. We've got stir-fry sauce, soy sauce, and Worcestershire. So just going to clean my pan up a little bit. Going to turn it on low heat. And now let's get started, because this is going to move really quick. Hang on one second. So, like I commented, this is going to move real quick. We are going to put some oil in our pan, just so that way nothing burns. But when you got to stir fry something, you don't need a lot of oil. And everything moves real fast. The only real thing that we're going to have an issue with is our noodles. You know what? These are semi-fresh, so they'll do okay. We're going to just try and get some oil through our pan. Our pan's almost to temperature. Swirl our oil around a little bit. I think the first thing we're going to try and do is render our bacon or our pork belly. So our heat's pretty much coming up. The reason why I tend to cook a lot of Japanese food is it's quick, it's low, it's allergen friendly. It doesn't mean there's no allergens. I mean, you're dealing with soy sauce. But generally, looking like our pork belly's starting to heat up, so So this is going to make a pretty decent sized stir fry. Just had to get our pork belly separated a bit. We've got some shiitake mushrooms that we're going to add. And like I said, all this is going to go relatively quick. So here's our shiitake mushrooms that we've got. I bought a lot of stuff semi-packaged or pre-packaged. I mean, it's not like it can go out and kill a pig for pork belly. But I try to keep most stuff as unprepackaged as I can, just because you're never sure what kind of extra ingredients they may add to it. Preservatives, things like that they're going to add to something. But, so there is our shiitake mushrooms that we just put in. We're going to continue our stir fry. So, when we get into a lot of street food, you've got to consider there'd be larger portions of this. You'd have a huge pan, probably about the size of this stove, probably not the whole, but pan about that big. That you'd have a larger spoon and you'd be stirring through. Now, add our onions. A lot of this is going to go through real quick. So, I'm going to heat up a little bit. That pan's starting to heat up. What else do we need? So, like I said, everything's going to move really quick. We're only 15 minutes in and we're almost done. And that's including that you all watched me cut some things up. This block is really good for attempting to stir fry. So I've got it on 7 right now. Next item we're going to add, we've added our carrots, our mushrooms, our onions. Dump some of our cabbage in here. This is going to make a good dip. So there's going to be leftovers. I honestly wish you all had smell-o-vision right now, because this is really good. And I haven't added any seasonings to it. And remember, I know it looks like I've added a lot of food, but all of this is going to come down. I'm going to drag the camera over a little bit. Hang on 1 second. That tastes real good. So, sorry for the odd camera shuffle, folks. Cut our heat down. Now we're going to kind of add our sauce. It's going to seem weird, but our sauces, ketchup, this is kind of looking like some really bizarre mash of things, but trust me, it'll turn out reasonably well. Because that's not all we're adding to this. We've still got our noodles and whatnot to add. But well, I jumped the gun on the ketchup because the ketchup is for our sauce. We're going to be adding Worcestershire, soy sauce, and some teriyaki sauce. This may seem like a weird mix, but I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants a little bit. We're also going to add and I know, again, this looks like I've got a stir-fried soup. That is far from what this is. Because by the time we add our other ingredients, it's going to come out pretty well. I used Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire, and that was not a great idea. We're going to add some sugar. I know this seems weird, and trust me, I wouldn't think about using something like this in a stir fry either, but it is necessary. Because otherwise your sauce just kind of takes over. And it's not really enough to make it sweet, because all we did was add a little more, but we were only supposed to add about 2 teaspoons. Not really enough to make it sweet, just enough to kind of cut down on all the acidity. Just checking for seasoning. That's actually pretty good. So, I know a lot of my stuff takes some time. That sauce is vicious. Wow. That sauce is vicious, but it's good. We kind of want it to be that way. Now, believe it or not, this would actually be 3 servings. Now we're going to take, unfortunately it's super hard to find soba noodles. So what we're going to do is I found some random stir-fry noodles that we're going to attempt. We're just going to kind of loosen them up. But in go our noodles. Look at this, folks. This is 25 minutes, and that's including our prep time. This whole recipe is only about 30 minutes, and it can actually be a little bit shorter if you know what you're doing. I have the recipe, but I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants as well. All we're trying to do right now is just separate our noodles, so and we are pretty much done. The biggest thing you've got left now is just a plate. One thing I will add, this is 3 servings, but serving-wise, for those wanting to deal, I'm assuming this is per serving. And that is done. We're going to cut the heat off. We're going to take all our little bowls. This is 940 calories. I don't know if that's per serving or for the whole thing. If it's for the whole thing, that's 500 calories a serving. That's not bad. We've still got some pork belly left over, but we're not going to worry too much about that. Now, you've seen this from prep to plate. So let's plate it. So I've got a small flat bowl. This would be just kind of like your random soup bowls. Or, yeah. I don't know what exactly they call these. But to plate, we're going to grab our tongs. And this is our plating. It's pretty good. So what do you all think? Would this be a recipe you'd want to try at home? I hope so. But if you attempted this recipe as well, let me know in the comments how it worked out for you. Now our last thing, just to garnish, we're going to take our green onions, sprinkle them over. We've still got a little bit left over. And 1 second. Now for the ultimate question. How does it taste? It's got almost a sour flavor from where we use the Worcestershire. And it really goes well with all the extra. It really cuts through the meat as well. All the vegetables and everything. This is a really hearty meal. So, for the Shirtless Chef, one of our last episodes of our street food series, yakisoba.